sort of Brian Bulaga as he travels to Green Bay edition. And, as always, on Wednesdays, the Uncle Homer edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, I see it, Facebook, and of course YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all-free, all-customizable your teams, your states, your ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, but he'll be in Green Bay tomorrow. And so will be the Packers Hall of Fame.
What?
I think there is
food, or why is Jesse?
I believe there will be food, yes.
Oh.
And more
Also,
importantly, there will be video cameras and audio equipment to set up. But then there will be food.
Real conundrum. It's always intriguing to find out why and when Jesse decides he's going to show up on remotes. It's a real pickle that he's in.
Also scheduled to appear in Green Bay, Wisconsin, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He doesn't come just for the food. He comes to deliver great gifts. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm taking a gift back home with me. I guess I'll be heading back Friday night, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Sounds like a good idea. I
Really
can't wait. Send me a picture. I would love it for you to hang Hansel and Gretel right next to the framed U.S. National Parks Johnny montage and all the photos that you and Sarah have filled in from the kids going to all your various parks. That sounds like a great design.
After you did what you did with Hansel and Gretel, I actually burned your blanket and threw your poster away.
Oh, wow. That seems excessive.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a tit for tat deal, right? Isn't that how
true.
tit for tats work?
I don't think that's how those work.
Not exactly.
I'm glad we're off to a great start.
How is that
great
not
to
a tit
have
for
you.
tat?
I have Christmas presents to give both of you tomorrow, and I do plan on bringing them.
Oh, good. It's perfect time to start. Get some kindling. Get these. It's that nice part where it's not quite warm enough, but now it's not. You could go out and start a little fire, a little campfire. That's perfect. We can get Hansel and Gretel. We can get blankets. Yeah. It's nice. Tit for tat. Hey, what is the deal with this
What's the
scam?
deal?
Oh, boy.
All right,
What's
Jerry.
the deal with this scam? Scam text messages about tolls. Why is this such a prominent deal? Why is it working? Because if it's not working, usually the scammers will stop it. It keeps coming. These scam text messages.
So I just saw a news story on this. Yeah, I am getting those, and we don't have tolls here, and I have not driven anywhere outside the greater Green Bay area other than to come down to Madison a couple weeks ago. There's no tolls on 151. There might be on 26. They just call them speeding tickets in Rosendale. It means you were in a data hack. So if you're getting those, that means your data was exposed to some scammers.
Everybody's data is exposed to everyone.
You're right about that as usual.
Have you been doing a lot of driving out of state where they would get your stuff and they would?
No, it's not from that. It's just they just use the toll thing as a scam to convince you to pay money and enter your credit card information.
Question.
If you ask a question and you don't let the person answering it finish, is that really? What did you really ask it for?
You did finish. You said data's breached. Blah blah blah. When
you decided I was breached. I got it now. Sure, gotcha.
When
I'm finished.
Putting your info out there and you trust institutions to cover and kind of make sure that that's not breached, what is the liability of a state of Illinois? Or a toll state, when and if you end up getting scammed, do you end up getting retribution if you get scammed because that data was breached? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But again, I don't. I think you're falling for the banana in the tailpipe that the scammers want you to think. No,
I don't mess with
but you're saying that it's because of Illinois and tolls. It's not a data breach
No, I'm saying
that was like the Illinois tolls. It is some other data breach of when you were buying. When you were on the shopgoodwill.com website and you got me my Hansel and Gretel print, that maybe your information was breached
went
there.
To a store on Michigan Ave and got you a nice print and you threw it away. Yeah, that's not where it got breached.
Michigan
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's right off of Michigan Ave.
Drove down to Illinois, and then that's when he had to pay the tolls. Yeah, exactly.
Breach City, USA. Not
So
real happy about
I feel like there have been settlements for like major companies, like retailers that had their data breached. You get like a coupon or something if you're part of the class action lawsuit. Yeah. So you have not fallen for this? You watched the videos
I'm not gonna
that we
fall
put
for that. I
out.
thought about
Remember
it.
your training.
Fishing.
Yep.
Yes.
You've trained your whole life for this.
Lord knows they do that enough, huh? Am I right?
All right, so did we get you an answer on that? Would you like to move on now?
I'm ready to move on. That's kind of why I said let's move it along. But yeah, I think as I was watching this morning, and Schrager is, now that he's an ESPN teammate, great hire by ESPN in my opinion. He's pretty dialed in. He picks Super Bowl winners pretty regularly. He doesn't try to fake like he is a draft connoisseur. He just goes off the data. And I don't know who I believe. Now, the last 3 mocks I've seen you're a Brugler guy. Mel, I think, what's the guy that was on Jim, Matt, and Molly?
That's Matt Miller. Matt Miller,
And now Schrags. I think all have went wide receiver for the G&G with their last mocks. I think, and as I've been listening, and Jason, you dropped that great nugget a couple weeks ago about 4 first-round picks to our Hall of Famers that have been first-round wideouts. Green Bay needs a wideout. Urgency. I think tomorrow night, with the 23rd pick, I am getting more and more convinced Goody is going to pull the trigger and grab a wideout that he thinks can be that dominant number 1 player to help elevate the rest of the receiving core and Jordan Love and this passing offense. Urgency, urgency, urgency. I think they're going to do something out of character, go with the first-round wideout, and make the big impact. I am more convinced now, a day out, that that's the route that this team is going to go. You joining my club?
No. That's great that everyone's mocking wide receiver to them, and I hope it's true because it'll be a great story. Much more interesting than taking a tackle or whatever they might do instead. Here's the issue. So, and we talked about this earlier in the week. Goody talked on Monday. A year ago, someone asked him about Cooper DeJean. And he gave this long, detailed, thoughtful answer about how star-spangled awesome Cooper DeJean was. And I'll never forget Domofsky turns and says, after Goody walks off the podium,
"We ain't drafting him."
Well, they're not drafting Cooper DeJean because why would he say all those nice things publicly? And he was right. Cooper DeJean was on the board as the Green Bay Packers selected at 25, and they took Jordan Morgan instead. Teteroa McMillan came up on Monday. Matt Schneidman of The Athletic asked, Goody, you were reportedly the only GM at his pro day. And Goody, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody put Seinfeld music behind it. It was cute. I liked it. Did like a little comedy hour with Gooter. With the Gooter.
And then Gooter. That's a new one. And then
let's not do that one.
there was a follow-up question about just what he thought of McMillan, and he basically could not get out of his answer quickly enough, which is the opposite of what he did with Cooper DeJean. Now, that doesn't mean they're picking Teteroa McMillan. It also doesn't mean that Teteroa McMillan will be available at number 23. So in order to make your prediction or the prediction that you're co-opting from all these other folks that have mocked a wide receiver to Green Bay.
Co-op.
If Emeka Egbuka, Matthew Golden, and Teteroa McMillan are the 3 first-round graded wide receivers, and the Packers are picking 23, I am skeptical that all 3 will be there at 23. So then the question becomes, does Goody want a wide receiver enough to go up and get one?
Don't be reaching.
To trade an asset to go get one. That's my question.
And do you think he does?
I don't. I don't believe he only has 8 picks. He does not. He as I have discussed, and I can't remember who to give credit for this for pointing this out. In all 7 of his drafts, he has always exercised at least one first-round pick, at least one second-round pick, at least one third-round pick. Now, in 2022, he had 2 second-round picks, his own and the Raiders from the Devontae trade. He packaged those 2 to go up to take Christian Watson at 34 on the second pick of the second round. But he always picks someone in each of those rounds. He does not have that ammunition at the top of the draft to give up a third-round pick to go up 10 spots or 8 spots or whatever the number of spots he'd have to go up to get a wide receiver would require. So I am skeptical. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm skeptical. You think it'll happen?
I guess the question, and this is where I am not in the draft industrial complex like some. That's not, I like hearing about it. I obviously watched the Wisconsin players and then am very intrigued by who and what Green Bay may or may not do. I don't know how highly valued those 4 wide receivers are, but the fact that the rumor mill is pushing that Shedeur Sanders might not even – the odds on ESPN Bet and some other places, I have not checked Rockford's yet, but I'm sure Rockford has this too. The fact that Shedeur Sanders is now – the odds are he's going to go in the second round, that's not good for the G&G. You want to see teams, especially when you feel solidified at quarterback, you want to see scrambling for quarterbacks. Then the apple cart gets upset. That's how an Edgerrin Cooper drops to you in the second round when really good football players, teams are hunting for that quarterback. So if those 4 wideouts, the last thing you want to do is reach and hope.
Hope is not
and
a strategy.
That's what you have to. If that's what you end up doing, it typically you end up looking. You have egg on your face. So
Goody doesn't. Doesn't reach. Goody doesn't reach, and he doesn't hope. He maybe gets the pick wrong, or he picks based on potential, and maybe not as much production, right? LVN, etc. But I don't think he's guilty.
Well, isn't that hoping and reaching when you're going just off of what the potential?
No, I think if you're grading guys that way, I mean, Ron Wolf reached for John Michaels when he got caught, as he would say, with his pants down, talking to Ray Lewis on the phone, thinking he was getting Ray Lewis in 1996, and then the Baltimore Ravens took Ray Lewis. Like, I don't think I think Goody.
You know the part that sucks about that, because I think the math adds up. Terrell Davis ain't running for whatever in that Super Bowl if Ray Lewis is your middle.
I would tend to agree with you on that statement.
Boy, isn't it crazy to think of how much the fortunes of teams change when you don't get to
love it. Don't you love that? I love that. I love
Very
that.
romantic, some
I am.
would say.
I still and Tom Silverstein did this great article where he sat down with Goody in the draft room.
What great journalism that was. Woo! Spoon, back to number 1 in my power ranking. Spoon. After that,
I saw Domovsky interviewed the people who live across the street from the draft.
That was good.
That was a really good story too.
Interesting. Yeah.
More cutesy than what Spoon did.
Jason was breaking down the punters yesterday.
If I may finish, Jerks.
Sure.
Can't wait to see both you knobs in person tomorrow.
Jason, I want to be valid before you finish your point on Spoon. The Packers have only drafted a wideout 4 times in the first round in their history, correct?
In the Super Bowl era.
So I have to specify Super Bowl era.
I think that's important because I don't know. I'm sure they drafted a receiver. I don't know when they drafted Don Hudson. I'll have to go back and check. But what now? If I could get back to my train of thought that was so rudely interrupted.
Sure.
In Tom's story, they're going through film with Goody. Now, I would argue, I was hoping, and obviously Goody didn't sign off on this. I would like to see the plays that they're watching. That would have, more of a all-encompassing video and written word, everything else. But it was really fascinating. The one thing that I liked, though, and I would love to, I always say this, Spoon mentions in the story that they were really smitten with Brandon Ayuk. And Goody had traded up from 30 to 26. And Brandon Ayuk went 25. And the 49ers made that trade after the Packers had traded up to 26. Like whoever was picking 25th was on the clock. And the 49ers jumped in and took Brandon Ayuk. And there were multiple reports that the Packers wanted Ayuk. And Goody confirms that to Tom Silverstein in this article. So once again, my question is, if both of them had been there, does he take? It's great that they sat and watched film, and he loves Jordan Love. He's got a loose arm. It's a really good story. But if Brandon Ayuk does not go to the 49ers, does Goody draft Brandon Ayuk? Is that his Ray Lewis moment? And he takes Jordan Love, who he likes a lot, but if both of them are there, who does he take? Having just been to an NFC Championship game the year before with an aging Aaron Rodgers at quarterback,
Ayuk probably brings him a championship. They ain't losing to San Fran in 21. Yeah, what a world, huh?
It is quite a world. Also, thanks to Mike, Don Hudson joined the Packers in 1935. The draft didn't start until 1936. That is courtesy of Mike in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments. So he'll always be a first-round pick to me, Don Hudson. Just like Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin are always my first-round draft pick.
Lot of buzz, man. Oh man, just watch it on whether it's everybody up there. I think a lot of folks got up last night. More people coming in. A lot of buzz. Oh my gosh, up there in Green Bay. But you're not going to find any draft talk when it becomes seeping through those windows. Never with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you take advantage of no interest financing options. Or you can get free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Complicated fella in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments says Goody reached on Tyron Hopper last year. I'm talking about first-round picks. I don't think he drafts for need and jumps his board for first-round picks. He may be wrong on them, and oftentimes he has been. But, they were smitten with Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt in 22. I know that from talking to people. So he got his guy, and he had him rated highly. Whether or not he turns out to be the player that they believed he could be, he's facing another critical year. We'll talk more about the draft on the eve of the draft. NFL Draft Eve in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership, thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. Biz Expo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. Biz Expo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Draft season is all about big decisions.
Green Bay is now on the clock.
And your future is no different. Whether you're just getting started, balancing work and life, or coming back to finish your degree, Lakeland University gives you the flexibility to do it your way. Evening, online, and hybrid courses. Credit for work experience. Education that fits your life. Experience it your way. Learn more at lakeland.edu/draft.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Here's Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access.
There are some national factory direct companies that are selling people stair lifts at twice their value. They're breaking within a year, and they can't get service. So now people are paying 3 times what they should have paid from the get-go had they just gone to a local and reputable company. Call us, give us your price from your local contractor. We're going to beat it.
Access, the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. Will beat any stair lift quote provided by a local company. Visit allaboutaccess.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So tomorrow, as we come to you live from the Tundra Trio in the shadow of Lambeau Field, we'll do Who's Your Guy? Who's the guy you want? Who is that player that you want the Packers to draft?
Vontae Mack.
No matter what. My question, though, is if you can choose the position because I see whenever Tausch tweets, there's something going on in his brain. Feels like a WR1 at 23 tomorrow. So my question is, what position do you want them to draft in the first round? Do you want them to draft the wide receiver?
It's got to be three choices as a Packer fan. I think
defensive lineman, cornerback, wide receiver?
I would say edge rusher or a dominant D. Yes, I guess D lineman if you want to say that. Then I think and I think wide receiver would be at the top of most Packer fans' list. And even if Goody ends up doing a Jalen Ragor and he picks that wide out, I think you're going to see a ton of excitement until you don't. You'll have excitement all the way to September if you go wide receiver 1. And that might be a reason why, and I had this discussion on with the KBN groupthink boys yesterday, that adds a lot of pressure because, it's not fair. Or they were all disappointed in Goody's comments that he had with you guys on Monday about the urgency and, the not playing right away. And my point to those guys was I like giving a little buffer. So there's enough pressure on these guys being a first-round pick so that if they're not thrown right into the mix and they can kind of get a little build-up and then start maybe getting more and more reps as October comes, and then by November, December, hey, this guy's pretty blank and good, I'm all right with that. I don't think if he drafts somebody at 23 as a wideout, they are going to be called upon right away. Mm-hmm. You are going to be thrown in the mix now. And if you can handle it, great. But understanding there is a little bit of a little learning curve buffer, unless you are a Justin Jefferson, that type of player, which would be what every Packer fan is hoping for if that can happen tomorrow night.
So I talked to KBN on Monday after Goody had spoken. And I really enjoy, I don't know who gets credit from their graphics department, but they did a little graphic of a quote from Goody, and it was one word, no, which was quoting him responding to the question of does he need his first-round pick to have to be a starter right away or to have immediate impact? No. Now, the answer was longer than that one word, but that groupthink crew over at KBN. But when I joined them that afternoon, they were, especially Kyle, apoplectic about that answer. They hated that answer. They were very fired up. And I didn't get it. I mean, Jordan Morgan wasn't an impact player last year, and they made the playoffs. A lot of
people are irritated about it.
LVN wasn't an impact player in 23. They made the playoffs and had the 49ers on the ropes in the division round. In 2019, Rashawn Gary definitely wasn't an impact player, and they made the NFC Championship game. Now, they did start their other first-round pick, Darnell Savage, all year that year. But, look, I would argue, and tell me if you disagree, it doesn't have to be the first-round pick that has the immediate impact, but they do need, regardless of what Goody said about, hey, if we played a game this week, I feel very, very good about our roster and us going out there and competing. They're going to need some players from this draft class to have an impact. And last year, it was clearly Edger and Cooper, who might have been their best defensive player during the second half of the season. Evan Williams had an impact. Javon Bullard had an impact. They had guys who had an impact last year, even if Jordan Morgan only started one game. So would you love for your guy? And I thought Goody's answer, the most important part was it's usually about opportunity. Quay Walker started every game as a rookie because they needed a linebacker, and they drafted one, and he played right away. Who do they need in the first round? What position do they need in the first round that, we have to get a starter with our first-round pick? Is it corner? Because I don't think they think that. Is it defensive line? I don't think they think that either. Maybe wide receiver. Maybe.
Yeah, that's where you believe in your roster, you want to continue to add depth and competition at spots. It is when you get in trouble when you start thinking, man, we need to get a defensive lineman with the 16th pick. Let's go grab a kid from Tennessee that we think maybe can be that guy. That's when you get in trouble. And instead of it being, well, we don't really view him as a first-round pick, but we need somebody.
Totally agree.
Trouble. Mm-hmm. That is not, and you've said this, that is not Goody's MO. And I think that frustrates fans because last year I think the idea was, well, Jordan Morgan could be that future left tackle. And then 2 days into training camp, it's like, no, he's battling at right guard. You find a player and you let them compete, and it gives you a lot of credibility when you don't just hand jobs off to first-round picks. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
And it puts a lot of pressure because then all of a sudden you have a lot of media / fans and et cetera saying, well, your first-round pick didn't even contribute. Been plenty of teams have won championships without their first-round pick contributing. Now, does it make life a lot easier if you do hit it and you get it right with a special talent, which is typically what a first-round pick is? Yeah. A.K.A. Philadelphia. You can look at Tampa. There's great examples of having big-time contributors at that first-round pick. And when you are a draft and develop team, and this is why this draft is so important for Goody, because you did not hit much. Your batting average, you would have been sent to the minor leagues with your hit rate in 2020 and 2021. But you did hit, and I don't know what I would call Jordan Love at this point. He is not a grand slam. I would say he is a nice, probably
ground
a stretched out double. Yeah, that's what I would have put him at.
Ball went over the fence.
And that's nice.
But it bounced.
You put him in that position, and that is what every team that's drafting early, Tennessee, New York, New England's got their guy supposedly. He's got to continue to prove it. When you get that guy, it levels the field, but you can't go 2 draft classes and only have 1 starter after 3 or 4 years. That's when you have to start chasing big free agents. Then your cap hits, and then all of a sudden when you do have a couple of draft classes like Goody has that have been good players, you need them to be great in order to continue to sustain championship level. And maybe last year was a great example. We didn't have it for whatever reason. Now you need to recapture that with at least 2 or 3 really big-time players out of this year's draft.
The poll is in the field. We've got 39 votes in the first 2 minutes. Tomorrow on Wilde and Tausch, we'll ask you which NFL draft prospect is your guy at number 23. Today, our poll question is this. Which position do you hope the Packers select in the first round tomorrow? Your choices are wide receiver, corner, defensive lineman, or offensive lineman. How do you think the balloting's going early on?
People want
guessing wide
receivers.
receiver.
People want receivers.
In an upset, the early balloting, defensive lineman, 41.9%. Wide receiver second, 29%. Cornerback is third, 23%, and then the offensive linemen are rounding it up.
See, some people are voting with what they want to happen for fun, receiver, drafting Green Bay first time, and for other people are like, I'm not going to get my expectations and my hopes up, so I'm going to pick the most boring one.
Which position do you hope the Packers select?
50% Hall of Fame hits.
Yeah, but he only batted 4 times. If you have 600 at bats, you're not going to have 300 Hall of Famers.
Hey,
he's not Tony Gwynn.
Jason, maybe that tells you we need more cracks at it. Let me tell you something. If I have Babe Ruth, I got him swinging, And it's like, man, maybe I want to find another Babe
same
Ruth.
people making the picks.
Ted Williams hitting 400 if he goes 4 for 10 in his career is not nearly as impressive.
Nice. Good reference. You're a baseball guy. Tausch, you always hit 1,000 when it comes to talking about American Family Insurance.
Oh, excited a lot. We're going to see a lot of our friends from American Family Insurance up in Green Bay. They are a proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And for almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. All so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
So Brian Bulaga is traveling to Wisconsin.
Big grill off tomorrow with the big Bluester. Big old grill offs.
You ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready. I don't even know what we're grilling, but I feel really confident that I'm going to beat Blue.
Asparagus.
What's your strategy for a grill off?
Hope it's better than your smoking history.
Well,
yeah, you don't have the best.
I don't know if we're
like. I trust
I hope
you.
We're smoking something.
You don't have the best history with meats.
Explain.
I mean,
we covered this. You smoked some brisket,
and
it was like chewing gum.
Yeah, no, it sucked.
You came on here on Monday morning after a big smoke weekend, and you're like, I don't know how to do this.
I've also told you we have kicked keister with our pork shoulder and our pork butt. So we've smoked the heck out of some great meat.
It also sounds like you just have Max do it half the time.
We have Max is good. We have a lot of issues with brisket. Brisket is not for the faint of heart. If you're going to smoke a brisket
for
you
the
better
brisket.
be invested.
Am I right?
Nice.
I don't get it.
Rhymes.
Oh.
Anyway, Brian Bulaga's not here. So we're going to play some clips from him from his other appearances on the Homer Hour.
Where's Bulaga?
And we look forward to seeing him in person for the grill off with, I believe, sources close to the program indicating a special judge.
Great places, South Dakota.
And I don't mean Jackrabbit Mama.
Could be anybody.
Could be. So we will hear from Brian Bulaga through the magic of recorded audio next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin's Brian Bulaga here for my new friends at Surfside. There's only one thing better than Surfside and golf, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course. This golf season, there's no better drink to enjoy on the golf course. Surfside is light, refreshing, and made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Plus, there's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway, and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Need a new vehicle? Check out Ewald Automotive Group's Spring Into a New Ride sales event. Over 1,500 new and used vehicles. Get Ewald's low price guarantee on new vehicles. Shop our certified best used cars starting under $99.95. Financing for everyone. No payments till summer with approved credit. Now is the time to upgrade with Ewald. Friendly people who treat you right. Great selection and low prices at 10 locations.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025.
Brian Balaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has zero bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
All right, before we get to pre-recorded Brian Bulaga, which is still great, not as great as when he joins us in person. We'll probably still be late for the start of the 10 o'clock hour.
We
anyway.
will be on the clock better than usual. I think that's fair to say.
See, this is why you just put the whammy on us.
I mean, there's no way we're going to be starting the 10 o'clock hour at 10:18 this time around.
Okay, I hope you're right. But for those of you that did not tune in and hear this on Tuesday, after Goody spoke on Monday, or you didn't hear it on KBN or anywhere else across ESPN Wisconsin, Goody was asked about the idea of his first-round pick having to have an impact or be a starter as a rookie. Does he need that to be the case? Here is how Goody answered.
No, I mean, I think you'd love to, but I mean, I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. I mean, the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
That I did not find that to be the least bit bothersome. Am I just not paying attention? Am I just dumb? Because it bothers some people.
Well, people like to be bothered.
perpetually
People like to be bothered. That is as solid of a quote. If you're sitting there saying, oh, God, yes, if we don't get a wideout that is dominant at 23, we're going to stink. Would you feel better if he said that? Is that what you're going to feel better? Is that going to keep you warm at night? So this is the way you draft. This should be your approach. Now, if you don't think Goody is hoping that his first-round pick is a home run and is a huge contributor to a Super Bowl team, you just hate Goody. But I don't know what else you would want any rational general manager to say. Like, if he's not saying that, I'm thinking, I don't think this dude is qualified for the job. It'd be like if he said, man, I didn't realize when I traded Brett Favre or if I traded Aaron Rodgers, I don't know we'd have any idea what the fan base would do. Nico Doncic. That's what you want to avoid. So here you have a rational, reasonable clip that makes a ton of sense. And anything outside of that, I don't comprehend.
Well, let's hear what Brian Bulaga thought. Because remember, he was a starter as a rookie, thanks to your which injury was that? Shoulder, groin, knee?
Something. Yeah, one of those things.
Brian Bulaga took over for Mark Tauscher after 4 games during the 2010 season. He was the Packers' first-round pick, selected at number 23, which is where the Green Bay Packers are selecting, or at least scheduled to select, tomorrow night. Here's Brian Bulaga on his experience as a rookie starter in the National Football League.
I didn't get an opportunity to start. I was behind Cliffy and Tausch, so I wasn't going to start unless something happened, and something happened to Tausch. So it is based on opportunity, and some guys get some and some guys don't. But I still think at the end of the day, the expectation is that they should be ready to go and able to play immediately. At least I think. You're not picked in the first round to be a project, so to speak. You're picked to be ready to contribute. And if you draft a guy and say an offensive line, and to me, that's kind of where I look at is that, I wasn't asked to be a starter right away. I had a few weeks to develop, I guess, throughout the season. But I was asked to contribute now. Like I started, I didn't start, but I played pretty much the entire game against Buffalo. Chad played one series against Buffalo, came out, and I played the entire game against Buffalo at left tackle my rookie year. Like that was week 2. So I was asked to go play right away as well. And then I went and played right tackle when Tausch came out. So guys are as a first round pick, you should be expected to go contribute and play at a high level right away. At least that's the way I expect it to be.
So in recent history, since Brian's selection, the Packers have had some picks that were, I don't want to call them projects, but first-round picks that maybe weren't quite ready to play. Brian played very well for a rookie after you got hurt.
Yeah, I think when you looked at Brian, he struggled initially, and then by the end of the season, he was playing at a really good level. So there's a ramp up, there is a process, and this is where I get into arguments with guys all the time that, it's the same cast of characters that wanted to cut Devontae Adams, that didn't think, so-and-so was any good, and sometimes you're right. Sometimes guys are who they are, and they don't get any better. Most of the time, first and second round picks, they get better. They end up being the guy that you hope, and maybe they're not to the same level that you thought, but they're not going to be some liability out on the field either.
The Packers' first-round picks after Brian Bulaga, Derek Sherrod in 2011. I don't know what he would have become had he not had that catastrophic leg injury, but he was not ready to play when they drafted him. If you remember, in 2011, Cliffy missed a bunch of time with injuries, and it wasn't Derek Sherrod that they went to. It was Marshall Newhouse, who had some experience. 2012, Nick Perry. 2013, Dayton Jones. 2014, Clinton Dix. He played right away. He started right away. 2015, Demarius Randall, which was just a bad pick all around. 2016 was Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is exactly what we're talking about here, about a guy who doesn't necessarily play as a rookie. 20 years old, a little bit of a projection. Turns out to be a 3-time Pro Bowler and a really good defensive tackle. I know he didn't have a great year last year, but he's a good example of a guy that is definitely one of the better first-round picks the Packers have had, and he did not contribute as a rookie. Hardly at all. Barely played until the end of the season, and even then didn't play a lot. So each player is different. Each position is different. Each opportunity is different. And again, when I look at this team and where they stand currently, I don't see a position where they have to draft a player at that position because they need someone to walk in and start right away. They needed Jair to come in and start as a rookie in 2018. They needed Darnell Savage to start as a rookie in 2019. They remade the entire safety position last year around Xavier McKinney. They drafted 3 of them. They needed one of those guys to turn out to be the starter, and it turned out to be Evan Williams. So, again, I don't know if there's a position like that this season, but the bottom line is this, for me anyway, was much ado about nothing. Jesse, you've got trivia up next.
So here's what we're going to do today, folks.
Yeah, double trivia probably.
It's double trivia, but this
Let's
is a...
go.
So here's how this is. We're doing 2 different trivia sessions today. Yep, that's what we're doing today.
No.
Yep.
Vito. Tommy Vito. Why would we do that? It's fun to do double. You get the different contestants conversing with each other.
Let me finish. We have rollover trivia from yesterday because we didn't get to it yesterday.
So we have to roll it.
So I want to do that now.
You could have done 2
double
Wisconsin
trivia.
Geography Wednesdays.
So we're going to do Badgers Trivia Tuesday on Wednesday, NFL Draft Edition. That's coming up next. Then later in the show, double Wisconsin Geography Wednesday.
So we're playing 3 rounds of trivia today?
3 rounds today because the draft is happening. We're not going to want to do trivia while we're up at the draft. There's all kinds of fun happening the next couple of days. But we owe it to our fans to have a fair chance to be in for the prize pack at the end of the week.
It's a bold
I don't
stroke.
like it.
I don't like it. You don't like it.
I'm just telling you, I don't like it.
You're getting everything you want from this. You're getting double
everything
Wisconsin
you want,
Geography.
everything you need.
Yeah.
Vertical horizon. All right, well,
you have to talk about that cute son of a gun, Bucky, or whatever you call him these days.
He is going to talk about that rascal and UW Credit Union in a minute. All right, hey, look, if you don't like this, take a beat. Take this next segment off. I'll handle it. Go get a coffee. Go on down to the Quick Trip down the road.
Hey.
Get yourself a coffee. Come on back.
I'm not going to be patronized.
I'm not patronizing
I am
you.
a team player. Listen, I'm a team player. I can voice my displeasure and still be a team guy. Like, that doesn't mean I'm going to pout and not do it, but I can say I don't think it's a great idea.
For the record, I wanted to do end of show trivia yesterday, and Jason
so did I.
But
Bully McGee over here said, no, we're not doing
Bully McGee.
We didn't have enough time for it anyway.
We had plenty of time.
Bully McGee.
We had plenty of time.
Caller 8 right now for the first round of Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Wednesday. Caller 8 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 8 plays after Tausch tells us how he wised up and joined me as a UW Credit Union member.
And for every stage of life, Jason, as a young whippersnapper back at old Whitty Hall, signed up. Took me a little longer, but for every stage, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, T, why'd you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Yep. Member first service? Abso-blank-and-lutely. Great perks like early payday? Yep, but I just love having all the options. What you want to get on your car? Do you want to get Bucky? That's what I did. You can get those beautiful chairs from the union. You got all kinds of options. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things, but man, does this Just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get that Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Trivia's next, whether Tausch likes it or not. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Finding money in your house can be a lot easier than you think. Great Midwest Bank, there's no more couch diving for loose change. Jen Gabe and Chewy's Jen Latta here. GMB has a simple approach to turning your home's value into cash. All it takes is a locally serviced home equity loan or line of credit. They take the time getting to know each customer, making for an easy way to pay for whatever it is you want or need. New appliances, a big repair, a boat, or a pool. It's just a few clicks away with GMB. Great Midwest Bank. Experience your state of banquility.
Looking for a Milwaukee tradition? It's Saz, and for nearly 50 years, Saz's have been serving up award-winning ribs that'll make your taste buds dance. Don't miss our festival-famous mozzarella marinara, the appetizer that put us on the map and keeps Milwaukee coming back for more. Whether you're heading to a game or just catching up with family and friends, make Saz's your place to go. 55th and State. Saz's, where memories are made and stories are shared, one delicious bite at a time. Saz's Steakhouse, the finest. A Milwaukee tradition since 1976.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials. Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You want the contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Draft season is all about big decisions.
Green Bay is now on the clock.
And your future is no different. Whether you're just getting started, balancing work and life, or coming back to finish your degree, Lakeland University gives you the flexibility to do it your way. Evening, online, and hybrid courses. Credit for work experience. Education that fits your life. Experience it your way. Learn more at lakeland.edu/draft.
Mark Tauscher here for Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 ticket sweepstakes, which could get you a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time for trivia. Time for a first-time contestant. Let's welcome in Brad in Whitewater. Brad, good morning, buddy. How are you?
What's up? How's it going, guys?
What's up? It's going good. We're happy to have you. Tausch is very excited to play. Tausch is very excited to play trivia and ask all three questions because he's so enthusiastic because he's such a team player. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Am I not?
All right. Which of these Wisconsin Badger players, who is also a Pro Football Hall of Famer, will be announcing a pick at the 2025 NFL Draft up in Green Bay? Is it Joe Thomas, Ron Dane, or Nordy?
Ooh. I'm going to say Joe Thomas.
Well done.
Yes.
I feel like Nordy deserves an opportunity.
Wisconsin Badgers safety Hunter Wohler, expected to be drafted this weekend in Green Bay, played high school football at which of these Wisconsin schools? Is it Martin Luther, Auburndale, or Muskego?
Ooh, this one I do not know. I'm going to say Muskego.
You're going to be right.
Wow. That was lucky.
Pretty average bowling school from what I've been told.
They are the reigning
lastly,
state champions.
Which of these? Well, I could tell when I was watching Bowl Stream TV. There was no excitement at all.
Rich.
Muskego won that. Which of these players is the most recent Badger to be selected on day 2 of an NFL draft? Is it Tanner Bortolini, Keanu Benton, or Jake Ferguson?
Oh, gosh. No idea. We're just going to take a random guess, say Ferguson.
Not sure this is accurate either. When did Bortolini get drafted?
All right, hang on. I had this yesterday, and then we didn't do it. Now I got to go look
He
it
maybe
up.
was a fourth.
Give me a minute.
Was a 4th round pick and got picked on the 3rd day, but he was close. If he wasn't, I thought he was a day 2 guy too.
Tanner Bortolini was drafted in the 4th round last year.
Okay.
Pick 117, so Jesse is right. Unfortunately,
Jesse's right.
Brad would have been wrong had he said Tanner Bortolini also because the correct answer was Keanu Reeves Benton. So you got 2 out of 3. That gives you 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing if we remember to do it. Brad, not a bad debut for a guy who was having to guess at a lot of the answers. So well done, buddy.
Yes. Yeah, not so bad. Can't be mad about that.
No, sir.
Thanks for playing. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
All right, love you guys.
He may have been a first-time contestant, but he's a long-time listener to be dropping the.
That's Brad.
Love you guys. Love Brad.
That's Brad.
Also, since that was Badgers trivia, seems like a perfect time to tell you that we've got a very exciting event coming up with Ben Brust as the MC, as the host, as the moderator. You remember the moments that made... I didn't know you were going to do that. You remember the moments that made that magical March in 2015. Frank Kaminsky leading the charge for Bo Ryan and Wisconsin in a run to the championship. Well, you can relive it all with Made 'em Believe on June 26th. You can join Frank, Sam Decker, Bo, and more for an intimate night at the Orpheum Theater in Madison to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of that team. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. Be sure to check it out.
We got a QR code for this one, too, Tausch, so you can scan your tickets to make sure you
Take a
end up
picture
there.
of it.
Yeah, that's how this works.
The 10 o'clock hour still starts late, even though we didn't have Brian Balaga. Not 10:18, but it is 10:07. 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins where I wanted to begin yesterday. But hey, you can't always get what you want. This, to me, was the most interesting thing that came out of Goody's Q&A session with us on Monday. 31 minutes. Lots of questions, lots of answers, but this one fascinated me because I will admit, when he said that they're good at wide receiver, he's not concerned about that position, doesn't feel like it's a need, I was like, well, of course he's going to say that. All he did in free agency was add Mecole Hardman. He's got to say that. He didn't even call Devontae Adams. I don't know if you've heard that. When he said that we've got everything we need up front on the defensive line, I thought, well, he's got to say that. They didn't add anybody in free agency on the defensive line. Then he had about 6 edge rushers and defensive tackles come in for pre-draft visits. But when he said this Monday, it just hit different. Here's Goody talking about where his team stands right now in April.
You know, you get the Javon Walker question every year, but do you think you're looking at the position any differently this year because of the visits you had and maybe where your roster is at that position?
No, I don't think so. I feel really good about our roster right now. I think that's one of the. It doesn't happen every year. Every year is a little bit different. But if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So, really across the board. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. That'll be, I think something we've prepared ourselves to be in. So, no, I don't think we've looked at it really any differently other than certainly if there's an opportunity to take a player at that position that makes sense, we'll do it. But I don't think we feel like we need to do anything.
So that question was specifically about wide receivers, but Tausch, I thought the way he pivoted it to discuss his roster as a whole, and this idea that, hey, if they had to play a game this week, I feel really good about it. That sounded more than just like blowing sunshine to me. And I think if you look at it from the view of everything he's done to this point, not being so-called urgent in free agency, adding a road grading guard and a corner to supplement a position of need, I think he really does. I think he's a true believer that he's got a really good roster and that he believes that all these guys that were waiting for them to make the big jump are going to make the jump, and they are good enough to be a Super Bowl team no matter what they do with these 8 picks they have. Do you think I'm misreading him, or do you agree?
No. You're not misreading him. That's what he should believe, and that's cute that he believes it. Does Matt LaFleur believe that? You're the LaFleur guy on this panel. Does Matt LaFleur believe what Brian Gutekunst just said there? Does Matt LaFleur believe that? Does Matt LaFleur believe that last year's – because in essence what you're saying is we added 2 players that are going to be contributors. Hopefully McCole Hardman can do some things too. So 3 that you know are going to be on this roster, or at least you believe, with Hobbs, with Banks, and with Hardman. And is that enough without these draft picks coming, which is what Goody is saying? We're good enough. Gosh darn it. We think we can win.
People like us.
That's what Goody should believe because it's his team. Mm-hmm. He has bought all the groceries in. Mm-hmm. He thinks we got a heck of a meal plan going, but we need somebody that can cook this bad boy up. Does Matt LaFleur look at this and say, you know what, Jason, I can put you a Michelin star 5 spot on you here because we have the stuff? Or does he think, we don't even have an oven that works? Where is he at?
Well, I don't think he's in the we don't have an oven that works crowd. Now, again, I do not want to speak for Matt LaFleur, but I think he's dropped enough, dare I say, breadcrumbs that
hurts every time I hear that.
He believes that with Josh Jacobs and the tight end group he has repeatedly suggested that this offense will run through the running back and the tight end position. Well, what does that mean? To me, that means that he doesn't think he has what he needs at wide receiver for it to be hey, let's have Jordan Love sling it all over the field because we got so many great wide receivers at our disposal. Now, that's me interpreting what he's saying about his vision of the offense. That is not him telling me, God, Jace, our wide receivers, like, they didn't make the jump. I don't know any of those guys that I can really trust. The one guy I really like is Christian Watson, and he's out till November. Because you're a doctor, Jason, and you're right. He's going to be gone till at least November. Like, that's how I interpret it. Am I flawed in that interpretation?
That's what's frustrating. I asked you a question, and you kind of answered, but you didn't. I think that's where he's at. I don't know.
I thought I completely answered the question.
I wanted you to say, no, I don't think he thinks this is the roster, or yes, I think he thinks this roster can win a championship. That was kind of what I was hoping, which way you'd go, and I didn't care which way you went, but I don't think Matt LaFleur does believe what Goody just said there. I think Matt LaFleur doesn't think his receivers are good enough as we currently sit. So that's what I think he is. I don't know. I think Goody thinks we have enough stuff. We are going to be really good here, and if we're not, I don't know what to tell you. Now, he's going to obviously add more talent and hopefully improve that, and hopefully Matt LaFleur looks at it and says, yeah, we're a lot better now out on the perimeter, because in today's NFL, yes, you want to have a great running game. Yes, you love having a tight end that can be a playmaker. I don't know any coach that's like, yeah, if our tight ends and running games stink, we're not going to be very good. I just don't know anybody that views it that way. Goody believes this team underachieved last year. That's very clear with his comments and things. I don't think he viewed it as we didn't have enough talent last year. And then when I hear Matt LaFleur say we played sloppy and weren't getting – did this team get better? This has been a staple of Green Bay Packer football under Ron, under Ted, under Goody, is your young players take a little time. And now with less training camp, etc., there is a big jump that you see from the game in September after Labor Day to your mid-December game. There's a lot of players that have gotten a lot better. And I think for the first time in a while, I didn't see that last year. Was there a time that you thought, man, has this group gotten a lot better? Defensively, I would say yes. But on offense, did you think this group took any big jump from what we saw in Brazil to what we saw against the Chicago Bears?
No.
At the
I
end
did
of the
not.
year?
No.
And I
But
think
I also
Goody
am not
ain't real happy.
But also, how much of that is the quarterback, who we crowned at the end of 2023 and who dealt with injuries and the drop? Look, and he deserves the benefit of the doubt to some degree too, because guys dropped a lot of passes and he dealt with an injury. But as a whole, even though they finished in the top 10 offensively, it didn't feel like they did, right? It didn't feel like when I told you the number of explosive plays they had last season,
Shocking.
you were flabbergasted. Because it didn't feel like they were that good offensively. You didn't do the post game, the Green Bay game night program, feeling like, wow, what a tour de force performance offensively. Was there a game you felt that way? And the answer from you was no. So what exactly do we make about what they are offensively then? And who do we blame for them not being better?
Well, I'm not going to blame anybody. You
Kinda
literally,
seem like you want to.
and again, we have not had Matt LaFleur on the show, but I would love to hear if he believes that what they had last year was good enough, they just didn't execute, or if you're looking at it and saying, yeah, we didn't have enough perimeter talent to do what I wanted to do, especially when Watson got hurt, to stretch the field, to do some of the things that we got kind of boxed in. This is what we needed to do. And when you have to be a 16, 17 play drive, there are a lot of drives last year that were 14 plays plus, which is great, but it's not sustainable. Then there were a lot of 3 and outs. And I'd rather see some explosives, some 7 and 8 play touchdown drives, because the NFL, the more you have to execute, the more things can go wrong. The fact that we were as explosive as we are is a great sign. I think what we're seeing is a difference of opinion as far as Brian Gutekunst. Is he overvaluing the groceries that he put on Matt LaFleur's big old counter? And is Matt LaFleur saying, I'm doing the best I can with what the groceries are? I got a lot of things that we can put. We got our meat and potatoes, but am I doing anything that's going to add? I don't know how he feels about that. And I don't know, from a Packer fan standpoint, I think more people would lean on, I think Matt LaFleur's done a good job. I don't think Goody's got enough good groceries on their table.
Tomato, tomato, differences of opinion. Good enough talent, not good enough coaching. Good coaching, not enough talent to coach. Limitations to the players. Again, big year for a lot of people in 2025. I want to get to, speaking of wide receivers, again, I believe, and I'm happy to be proven wrong, at 23, I want there to be a wide receiver that they had in for a visit to be available at 23 tomorrow night, and see if Goody takes him or not. I don't know if that's going to be the case. So I asked Goody if he would be willing to trade up some of those assets to go get, say, a wide receiver. We'll hear that answer coming up after I tell you that if you're making a first-round pick when it comes to needing legal representation because you've been injured in an accident, there is only one pick to make. And that pick is Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. One pick to make, one call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website, gruber-law.com. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. We're hearing more from Goody next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
At -196, we start with whole lemons, nothing wasted. Each one is flash frozen in liquid nitrogen to a jaw-dropping -196 degrees Celsius, locking in the freshest flavor. Then we crush it, not just juice, the entire fruit, turned into fine particles and infused into premium vodka. The result? A crystal clear, bold lemon flavor like nothing you've tasted. -196. Freeze, crush, infuse. The ultimate refreshment. Available now. Please drink responsibly.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. Select 4 packs of ratcheting tie-downs, $17.99. And new colors of men's work and sport polos, $15.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. I have a question for you business owners. How do your books look? Are they ready for your tax return to be prepared? Did you and your accountant talk during the year and develop a plan to minimize your tax bill? Or does this sound like you? You can never get a hold of your CPA. Phone calls are not returned and questions are never answered. Your books are a mess and the bank account hasn't been reconciled since last year. You don't get any advice to help you run your business. That's not the case with the Neal Group. We are advocates and partners with our clients to help them grow. We like to work with you throughout the year to keep your books up to date so you run your business profitably. Are you ready to grow your business, improve cash flow, have less stress, and live a better life? We can help. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net to book a meeting and see if we can help. The first meeting is free. Don't wait, do it now. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
With head coach Matt LaFleur's first season in the books, Green Bay's championship window was wide open. However, on draft night 2020, they found themselves in a situation similar to 2005 and decided to go bold.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Just like Rodgers after Brett Favre, Love would take over as the starting quarterback in his 4th NFL season, earning himself a huge deal as the face of the franchise following a breakout playoff performance.
Love zips it in there, and it's caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs. And the route is on in Dallas. Wow.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Chevrolet that don't always run and the radio never turns down. He's got a pedigree that's no good for nothing, no commas in his bank account.
So Wood Goody, who only has 8 picks, and when I say only, obviously every team starts with 7, 1 in each round. He has traded away his 7th round pick wisely for Malik Willis, reacquired a 7th round pick for Preston Smith, and then got an extra 7th-round pick as a compensatory pick. So he only has 8 picks. 4 of his 7 drafts to this point, double-digit number of picks, including 13 last year. What is he going to do to increase that number? But is he willing to give up, especially a premium pick, to move up in the first round to get a Tetaroa McMillan? I think not. Here's how Goody answered that question.
How special would a player have to be for you to be willing to use premium picks to go up to get them, as opposed to and missing out on those, because you get a lot of good players in the second and third rounds?
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's it's a 2-for-1, right? So he's got to be a pretty good player, and he's got to, I think he's certainly got to fit a vision that we have for him that could come in right away and be productive. But at the same time, I mean, those players do become available, and we're certainly not, we wouldn't. It's not like we wouldn't do it, but I do think it's a 2-for-1, and when you're talking about premium picks, those, first, second, third, maybe even 4th round type picks, you're expecting those guys to be good players, right? So if you're going to do it, it's got to be a player worth that.
That doesn't sound like a guy that's giving up a 2nd or 3rd round pick to move up to take a wide receiver in the first round. Am I right?
No, you are right. I just wonder, it would be fantastic for Green Bay to get aggressive and go get a Travis Hunter, go big. I think Packer fans would love that, but you love that for the moment. The draft history, how many teams, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks, they're so vital to your football team, and the Packers know that better than anybody. Ron Wolf, I can remember, as a fan, as a young, both high school and then a collegiate player, just remembering, all of those picks on that team. William Henderson and Free and Robert Brooks, all of those guys, Dorsey, that played such a critical role in winning a championship. You have that give and take. Now, the serial discussion from last week that I know everybody thought was real fun, and I loved it, it illustrated the point you made of how many great players are on this roster. Because I can't remember watching a Super Bowl team hoist up trophies with a lot of good players. Now, you have good players, but the great players are up on that stage, holding that trophy, putting a belt around them, firing. That's how you end up in those positions. And right now, you can make an argument that the Green Bay Packers are very limited in that number of great players. Hopefully some emerge in that role, but you need to continue to build and bring in players, but you do need to find some big boy impact players. You found 2 via free agency last year. I don't know if you could say that you found any in drafts as of late. You have hopes that there are, but that was a very telling conversation we had last week in that it made you think, A, what kind of cereal you like, but B, who are those great players that this team has? And Philadelphia had a bunch. San Francisco's fallen short and have had a bunch. Kansas City has a few, but, man, they have them in the right spots. Green Bay needs to acquire and find more great players, whether it's their players developing or via free agency. They started that. Hopefully they continue on that path, and hopefully we find somebody. But I think a lot of us would love if Goody went and pushed like Ted Thompson did in the one occasion, and that one move. I don't think anybody thinks we win a championship without Clay Matthews.
Agreed. No doubt about it.
That move happened because he was aggressive and he got the right guy. Would it have been the case if T.J. Watt had been drafted ahead of Kevin King? Would there be another pelt on the wall from 2020?
Another banner.
I'd hate to say I think he probably it'd be hard to say no. It'd be hard to say no.
I saw David Bakhtiari was tweeting yesterday, by the way, about a couple of things, and it reminded me again.
Big nuclear energy guy I've been seeing.
Yeah,
a lot
big,
of nuclear stuff.
big nuke guy, yeah.
He must be getting in the nuclear game.
I did think it reminded me that here's a guy who, boy, if for all the criticism we delivered for them not winning at home in the NFC Championship game against Brady, that if he plays in that game, maybe that's the only thing that needs to be different. Or maybe no COVID and there's actual fans beyond you and Max and 1,000 other people in the stands for it.
Or had Green Bay been aggressive and picked up Tristan Wirfs instead of Jordan Love, Tristan Wirfs, big right tackle, he could have played. He's now one of the best left tackles in the game. There's a lot of what-ifs in this world. Or
Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, you're right. All right, we need to get to Homer.
What was your point on D-Bach? Just that if he didn't get hurt, they'll win a championship?
Yeah, seeing him tweeting about nuclear energy,
Nukes, I think.
maybe he's the one thing that's all you need to change about 2020.
Yeah, but even with all that said, that team, even with David being hurt, that was a team that should have won a championship.
Yeah, but don't. So again, in fairness, and I know you and Max did your part. You were banging the sign on the metal bleachers. You're trying to, but like they finally get an NFC Championship game at home with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback after the other three he'd played in had been on the road. And it was not, there was very little to no home field advantage.
But let me tell you this, too, and this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I said in that, I mean, Lord knows that was a tough stretch for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But leading into that season, I said, this is going to be a huge positive. They played Minnesota on the road.
It's true.
Which wasn't a road game.
Silence,
and I thought Aaron Rodgers without crowd noise and being able to manipulate and do all the stuff. And he has went on and said that was a huge advantage to him, and he thought that he should have been at 80% completion because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we end up hosting all those games if there wasn't the crowds that were in play that year. So you can't have it one way and then say, well, it would have been great if 80,000 fans. I don't think they're in that spot if there's 80,000 fans at all these other spots. It was a huge advantage to the G&G and Aaron Rodgers, and he said that himself many times. That season was so easy for him because it was like playing pitch and catch.
What a great point by you. Also,
and by the way, it was not raucous, but we made a lot of noise beating as steel bleachers
steel
with those
drum?
things.
No steel drum.
There was a good advantage at Lambeau that day that was not taken advantage of. Not the same degree, I'm not arguing that, but it was not like the sanitary stadiums we saw throughout the season that year. Believe that.
I believe that. I also believe that if you got an ugly
Can't
shower,
give up a touchdown. Can't give up a touchdown before the end of the half.
Yeah, that was bad.
Kevin King.
And Aaron Jones fumbling that football.
Not
Huge.
good either. Yeah, not good. None of those things are
3
good.
turnovers by Tom Brady and 3 and outs when we had a chance to go win the blanking game.
Not good either.
Not great either. That ain't crowd noise, my friend. It ain't.
Well, I wasn't blaming you and Max specifically for not being loud enough.
No, but you were kind of saying if there were 80,000 folks in the stands, and I disagree with that. The sentiment of that because of how that season played.
I'm sure you could have been louder though.
Well, we had a pretty good little thumping going on.
Pretty good thumping. Could you tell us about your contest with Kohler Services, please?
Certainly I can. If you think your shower sucks, you think it's ugly and stank and moldy, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. You heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath. and installation of a brand new Lugstone shower. What's so funny?
Jesse showed
we've got some new nominees.
Some wallpaper.
Yeah,
looks like the Serengeti.
This is my favorite so far. If I was on ESPN Bet for the ugly shower contest with Kohler Services, the safari wallpaper on this one is my clubhouse leader right now. If I have a vote.
I'm with you. I like that.
Well, and
one.
there's a bunch of bobbleheads off to the right-hand side, too, of that. That's weird to have bobbleheads in the shower. I think we can get better. There are a lot of showers up here that Jesse is putting up. I want them stankier. I want them even a little more disgusting than what we've seen. That's what I'd like. So would Kohler. We want to get demolition and removal of that stank shower, and you get that installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win a brand new Lugstone shower from Kohler.
Use the app. That's the easiest way to upload it, or scan the QR code. Either way, get that ugly shower photo uploaded, and you may win from Kohler Services. Uncle Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
We have been more critical, I think rightfully so, of the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason than maybe we ever have been in the history of their franchise. Is there any chance they got this all right? Is there any chance they're just going to sit there tomorrow night, 21's going to roll around, and Shador's going to be there, and we're going to end the Aaron Rodgers conversation with them, and we're just going to say, you know what, they kind of played this perfectly?
Can't say they've gotten it all right when you've had ownership talk about how they thought this would be resolved a lot sooner than it has. You can't have everything go all right where Mike Tomlin talks about how uncomfortable it is waiting throughout the course of the offseason this late in the calendar. So, no, I'm not going to say they played it all right, because in a perfect world, they would have had Aaron Rodgers signed by now, but that hasn't happened. I can't say they're playing it right when the guy they prioritized all along is treating them like an option.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW data experts are simplifying complex workloads with high-speed AMD processors, which helps your project managers efficiently manage heavier workflows. Game designers level up creativity, and scientists develop their next breakthrough. Amazing, right? Make amazing happen. AMD and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/AMD.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Draft day is approaching, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean green certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? they'll take care of it. Dented bumper, scratch paint, Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco, Fisco, Fisco.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right.
You know what that music is. He's the host of the Homer Hour. The best 60 minutes of your day, or at least so they claim, across ESPN Wisconsin. He's also the voice of Marquette men's basketball. And, of course, he's the co-host of God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True on Wilde and Tausch. Homer, do you have, first of all, happy draft eve. Do you have draft fever as you get ready to come on up for the draft here in Green Bay?
I have draft fever because I can't believe that they're actually having the draft in Green Bay. So that, I feel like I'm at a once-in-a-lifetime thing, which I discovered last night helping out the event for the Scouts. The guest speaker was Ted Kellner. And I'm mentioning this mostly to Tausch because, of course, his incredible Wisconsin.
You talking about NFL Scouts or Boy Scouts?
Boy Scouts. Well, it's not actually.
Oh,
Boy
I thought you
Scouts.
meant NFL
It's
Scouts.
Scouts
Like,
because
shouldn't
it
they
has
be
boys
watching
and
film?
girls now. Yes,
Okay.
they should be. But Ted Kellner was the keynote speaker, and I learned that the most famous day in the history of U.S. sports. What would you say is the most famous day in the history of U.S. sports?
Miracle on Ice.
Oh, the Olympics, Lake Placid, yep.
Not even close.
Well,
Not even close. Jesse Owens sets 4 world records on May 25th, 1935.
Old Testament, as you like to say.
Maybe. Hey, legitimate.
That was before Wisconsin's first national championship in basketball, which you constantly poo-poo.
Yes, it's guilty as charged. Old Testament. Yes, I'm not arguing. Big Ten championships. Jesse Owens is a sophomore. 4 world records. However, in
wait
the
a
state
minute.
of Wisconsin, yes.
Like he wins gold medals in front of Hitler. Like he did so many more things beyond the Big Ten championships that made him.
Not the Big Ten championships. He set 4 world records within an hour. That's the key. That it was at the Big Ten championships is important because that's where Ted Kellner comes in.
Ted Kellner was there? He's that old?
No, he's not. But around
the
world, people would say the most famous hour in the history of United States sports, 4 world records set in an hour by Jesse Owens. That was a year before he did the Olympics. I mean, it's never even been close to being done. However, in the state of Wisconsin, the history is in an hour, in the same hour, the greatest hour of U.S. sports, Jack Kellner, Ted Kellner's dad, won the high hurdles, and Jesse Owens set 4 world records. Now, no other place in the world presents it in that manner, but that's a fact. Jack Kellner won the high hurdles, and Jesse Owens made 4 new world records in an hour. Nothing by a Wisconsin athlete is ever the equal of being part of something so historic. I would say not even. Mark Johnson, the on ice is probably not Old Testament, but.
Homer, what was it like to interview Jesse Owens? Was it anything like your interview with John McEnroe or different?
Never interviewed him. My greatest interview was Abraham. Very good shortstop. People, remember all the Old Testament stuff, but he was a very underrated baseball player, and he was He was good. Noah could hit, but really couldn't field a lick. So I just don't put him on the list because clearly you're going Old Testament. No, I'm trying to think the oldest person I ever interviewed. That's a great question. I'll have to think on that one. Me.
So are you excited about the draft or not?
I don't think it's as big as learning that the greatest sports day in the history of this country included Jack Kellner and Jesse Owens, not necessarily in that order. I'm excited because I'm going to tell you there's a very good chance that the Packers will take Gray Zabel, offensive lineman, North Dakota State. The concern
is that what Ted Kellner told you?
No, this is my draft source, my guy. And, of course, the key that makes me think it could happen is because he was a star in the Senior Bowl, which I believe has a great connection to draft. The problem is he might be gone. Because I am now who's this guy? Peter, he used to be on the NFL Network.
Peter Schrager.
Schrags.
P. Schrags.
He's now with ESPN, and I mean, I'm guessing he's pretty good on the draft. Is he any good? Is his track record any good?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy.
He has Seattle taking him with 18, and he could go as high as 12, but he'll be a lock. A lock. If he's available at 23, he will be the next Brian Bulaga. So he's the guy, but he might be gone. If gone, I'm stealing this one from Peter Schrager. He says Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas.
So
I don't know what you know about him. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
about
he's
him.
fast. Yeah, he's fast. He's one of the three that they had in for visits. So those are all signs that would point to he'd be someone that they'd be interested in. Now, I do think it's noteworthy, and I just sent this over to Tausch and to Jesse. Teteroa McMillan is doing a camp along with Cam Ward and some other first-round hopefuls over at Titletown right now. And he said, and I'm quoting from a tweet by Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, asked about the Packers by the reporters that are surrounding him. They've been showing me nothing but love throughout this whole draft process. Later, then, in the conversation, he also adds, I feel like I could fit in any offense well, but this one specifically, yeah.
I just want to let you know. This is my source on this is me. There is 0% chance. I know you love these, Jason. There's 0% chance that he's available. It's not going to happen.
So wait, but your draft guy is not you because Josh DiMaggio just told me that your draft guy is a bozo, but you're not your own draft guy. You're telling me you have someone else, and it's not Peter Schrager either.
It is not Peter Schrager.
Where do they think McMillan's going, Jason? Where do people have him going? This guy, because there's a lot of smoke here. There's a lot of smoke.
There is a lot of smoke.
So where is he going? How early is he going?
I'm not Mel Kiper,
right.
but all the mock drafts, which are, again, every mock draft under the sun last year seemed to have Cooper DeJean going to the Packers.
And Homer said he ain't going to be there, and then he was there in the second round, and we still passed on him.
My point is that just because teams have a player pegged in a certain spot doesn't mean that is exactly where he'll go. Right. But the consensus is that Teteroa McMillan will be gonzo by the time the Packers are on the clock.
Yeah.
Whether or not that turns out to be right, I don't know.
Yeah, I take no responsibility for anything said about
you don't take any responsibility for anything.
I do, all the time. Anything else I predict or say. For example, I'm going down to Potawatomi today to bet on the Bucks to win the series. I'm not betting a lot, but I'm betting some. I think they have a chance to win. People have forgotten what George Karl said. A series doesn't start until someone wins on the road. Has anybody won on the road?
What the hell did I watch last night? The series, that game didn't count last night?
What? No, it counts, sure. But it doesn't start.
You just said it didn't start. If some hadn't started, it's not going.
Correct. It hasn't started. You're right. Yes. The Bucks
okay, so it's 0-0.
Games at home.
Okay.
and then it'll be 2-2, and now you got a best-of-3 series.
So there's no way, Homer. So there is no way, if you're not getting big odds, you're not going down there, or you're going to go head over to Rockford, which is what I would recommend. You're not going to do that and say,
"Oh, did I mess up again?" Oh man.
No, if it's even up, Homer. What kind of odds? What kind of odds do you need? Because you're not taking this straight up when I'm being down 2-0. You need 5-1. What do you need? So
no,
I don't know how confident you are.
Look up what the odds are. I'm taking whatever they are.
You look it up. You got a phone. You look it up. What do you need to make that wager?
To talk to you.
That's fair. 10-1. Like they're big dogs. What do you need?
I would say it's probably. Hold on. I'll use my series Bucks Pacers odds. All right, because I got my desktop here.
This is dynamite radio right here.
You started.
I'm not. I don't even. Well, Homer, I don't care what I'm saying. For you to go down there, you're not.
Bucks are plus 155. That's
nothing.
Vegas still. That's nothing. Vegas still believes in the Bucks because they understand. Oh, it says a note here. Remember George Karl. A series doesn't start until someone wins on the road. Oh, okay. Thanks.
I'm sure George Karl's part of the.
Yeah, it is.
You're not driving over there to get a plus 155. Yes. You need 5-1 on that minimum.
No, I'm going over there. My bet will not be large, but yes, I'm betting. Yes.
All right, you do what you want to do, but
fine. You don't believe in them at
think
all?
Right now. You think if you had to just straight up Bucks Pacers, you're going to still think the Bucks.
I'm at about 45%. Just about.
So you think Pacers? So you think Pacers?
Flip of the coin. No, I'll take the Bucks.
Well, no,
I don't want to be
45% in.
No, I'm at 51%. Bucks 51%.
Well,
that's why I'm happy to get plus 155. You want to bet?
All
what
right.
do you want to bet? I'll bet you. I'll take the Bucks.
We can't bet. There's rules and regulations in place that you can't do that. I'll meet you in Rockford. We'll have a discussion. I'll meet you in Rockford. We'll have a discussion.
Hold on. This is so good. My friend wants to bet your friend. What is your friend willing to bet taking the Pacers? Of course, it's no connection to you, just a friend. What would your friend?
Yeah, if that was the case, even up, I would be fine even up if I'm taking the Pacers.
Your friend, how much? How much does your friend?
I can't. Again, we can't do that. I'll meet you.
It's not you.
No, I understand. My friend, listen, Homer, my friend and I will meet you in Rockford. We're going to meet you in Rockford. All right, hey, Homer, is there any spot that the Packers would draft that you'd be disappointed?
Oh, man. God, I could never be on a show.
What?
Yes, go ahead. Jason, would you explain to Tausch that my friend can bet his friend
getting
on this
talked all
show?
Over. Is this what it's like, Jason, when you get talked all over? It's annoying.
Imagine what it's like to be on the show with both of you at the same time. All right, first of all, we got lots of great partners. We love Hard Rock Casino in Rockford. We also we love other partners that are fantastic as well. So just take a beat.
I got American Place Casino in near Chicago too. My partner.
And Quick Trip.
Care of them.
And Woodman's has great gas prices, but.
I got to take care of mine.
Let's just all meet on Prize Picks and call it a day.
Your show.
Secondly, I don't know what the two of you Bickersons are bickering about, but I did hear Tausch trying to ask a question about the draft as we moved forward from your wagering on Bucks Pacers.
Okay, good. All right, question. I'm ready.
Now Tausch has forgotten what the question is, and we're just going to say goodbye to you.
It's not part of an argument.
It's time. It's 10:57. We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Homer, I will talk to you later today.
Remember the name, Gray Zabel. Remember that name?
Yeah, I've seen I've seen some tape of him, highlights for a center, and I know that he is the best center in the draft. Whether or not he's available when the Packers are on the clock, we'll have to wait and see. We look forward to seeing.
Was available at 23. Would you take him, the quarterback?
If who?
Deion's kid.
Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, no, I would hope that somebody would want to come up and take Shedeur Sanders for me, and I could accumulate more picks. No, I'm not picking.
What about
Shedeur
in the
Sanders.
second round if Jalen Milroe is available to you?
To me?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all on board with making things interesting. You draft the quarterback, you've made things very interesting. No doubt about it. Because there's no reason to draft one. Right? If you believe in Jordan Love and you like your backup quarterback,
you're going to need a backup after next year. Malik's going to be getting a big old payday. You got to keep winning games for the G&G.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he gets more opportunities.
Your friend, they will not take a quarterback before the 7th round, if at all.
I would agree with you.
your
I think
friend.
5th round or after. 5th round or after, I would agree with you.
All right. Homer, I'll talk to you later. This has been enlightening. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
Greatest day in American sports, May 25th.
Miracle on Ice.
Bye.
Indeed. Bye. Tausch, I'm going to give you dealer's choice. You can talk about
Hard
Prize
Rock
Picks
Casino.
here,
I'll
or
tell you
can
what,
talk
if
about
you're
Hard Rock
vibing,
Casino.
if you are vibing and you think the Bucks are going to come back and win, okay, or you think the Pacers are a lock stocker, if you like the Lakers, Timberwolves, a beautiful part is one of our favorite new partners, the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. And, boy, I was on it last night.
You had
Knew that the Lakers were going to win. Knew the Lakers were going to win. That was like a gimme. Oklahoma City, bam, boop, 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 all. And you know what? If you're hungry, Hard Rock Casino's got a bunch of different diverse dining options down there. Council Oak steaks and seafood. Bricked Italian kitchen. The Noodle Bar. Great street tacos. Constant grind. Head on down. Again, go down Highway 90. Like you're driving out and you just look off to the left side of the road and you will see a big, bold, beautiful, gold and purple guitar sparkling, telling you, come on in.
Wow.
Right off to the left-hand side of the road down there in Rockford. Head on in. It is a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
We sending Ma for the Heat tonight? Plus 12.5 on the road?
No, it's got to be something big to send Ma down there. It'll have to be something big.
Can't send her every day?
Take a look.
Okay, that's fair.
No.
I don't know what we're doing. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We have breaking news from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you recall, there was some conjecture on this program that with Sterling Sharp headed to the Hall, that the Green Bay Packers, after LaFleur made that comment about starting the offseason program, which started on Monday in the virtual realm, but then also cutting them loose a week early, we thought maybe, hello, Canton, which I think the last time they were there, they had that painting incident, and they didn't actually play the game.
We've had a lot of preseason issues with fields.
Yeah, and then there was Winnipeg, where the Klinkster dug a big hole in the field, and they had problems with that. They deactivated 33 guys, but told the other guys, hey, the field's not safe, but you're going to play anyway. You're not important enough for us not to play you. The Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers will be the Pro Football Hall of Fame game on Thursday, July 31st.
Ugh. Well, we had one of the teams, right?
We did say that, yes, with Antonio Gates going in. By the way, I was looking this up yesterday. The NFL season is starting on September 4th. Is Labor Day early this year?
I think Labor Day is the first.
Okay,
yeah.
That's an early. That feels about a week earlier than normal, but I guess it depends on where Labor Day falls. So
Labor Day is the first this year, so that is the earliest you get.
Thank you, Jesse.
They
Nelson.
doing another Friday game in Brazil then beforehand, or is that?
I'll have to fact check that. They announced a bunch of that at the NFL meetings last month. I will fact check that. Why don't you tell us about Prize Picks we can check in on our poll question at the start of the 11 o'clock hour before we get to our second and third rounds of trivia.
Great night on Prize Picks for me. I sent my picks over to Jesse. He didn't goblin A couple, but I took my sports opinions, and I made a little bit of cash last night. Giannis, more, no doubt. Dollar Dame, less, no doubt. Doncic, I think he had it beat in the first quarter. Boom,
Early
done.
Fourth, but yeah.
Brooke Lopez, lower. Bam, no problems. And then Austin Reeves, the sneaky fell out there in Vegas, out with the Los Angeles Lakers. Barely. He was the tough one for me last night, but a good night on Prize Picks for Old T. It is the best place to get real money sports action. Turn your opinions, which I give on this show every day, into real cash. Can win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win while watching sports. And now I just sent Jesse over. They have some fun little draft things going on. Mel Kiper saying certain words. How many Big Ten players are going to get picked? Where does Shedeur Sanders go? It's a fun little game. It is free to enter. And all you have to do, again, download the app. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And you got big action tonight. I think Golden State's playing. I'm looking for Houston to bounce back in a big way tonight. I think the Warriors are going to get beat pretty heavily tonight. That's what I think. Let's see what you have to think. Prize Picks, you run your game, and Old T will run his game, and we'll see how it all plays out. Prize Picks run your game.
So, for future reference, first of all, the draft thing is really fun. We're going to do Prize Picks of the Week tomorrow at the Trio with Prize Picks draft projections. That's going to be so fun.
That'll be really fun.
When you send me your picks, when I say, hey, I want to share with everybody what your picks are, you need to tell me when you're taking the Goblin guy, because otherwise I'm not going to say you're taking the Goblin guy. I'm going to assume you're picking it like normal, not at a reduced value. So
you should know better.
I followed your advice, and I went 3 out of 4 because your sneaky guy, Reeves, didn't get it done on his regular projected number.
No, he did, though. On mine, he did.
Yes, because you took the Goblin, which was like 5 points less at a reduced value. So you gotta give some people a heads up when you're going to do that.
Yeah, it was only 13.5. I goblined him, and I goblined Doncic at 24.5, and Giannis, I went Dame straight up. Pascal Siakam, I went him more. I had a great, one of my better Prize Picks nights in a long time.
Peninsula Pascal.
Pascal Siakam.
By the
Ryan
way,
Rollins,
Marcus Johnson on there is so funny. He is good.
That Pacers guy with the sign.
Yeah, he was getting after the old I think he called him an old geezer. Or
Grandpa's.
Dude, I'm going to tell you this. NBA playoff, if the NBA could just wreck, and I know playoff basketball is different. I get that. But that was a fun watch. The intensity, the smack talk, the competitive fire, that was great. Even though Milwaukee stunk for a big chunk of the first half, the fight they showed, that was a fun watch last night. Fun watch.
Except they were down by 12 the whole game.
Well, they still found a way. Keep it into it. Interesting.
Brian Bulaga did not join us.
Pascal hits that big 3-ball to go back up 5. Big old 3-ball.
Hey, old boy, when you're done with the 10 o'clock hour, tease the start of the 11 o'clock hour. I'm going to leave because you just won't stop. So let me know.
No, I'm done.
I'll be
Stop
back.
pouting.
Nope. See ya. Bye.
All right, Wilde's pouting. We got a bunch of trivia coming up. I don't know if Jesse's doing double trivia. And I really want to get Jason to say one way or the other and stop hedging. Are the groceries that Brian Gutekunst has put in Matt LaFleur's kitchen, are they good enough to win? I want him to give me a yes or no answer. Lord knows if that'll happen. We'll do that in 2 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Begins now. Checking in with our poll question from earlier in the program. Tomorrow on Wilde and Tausch, we'll ask you which NFL draft prospect is your guy at number 23. Tetaroa McMillan, perhaps. Today, though, our poll question is this. Which position do you hope the Packers select in the first round tomorrow night? Which position do you hope they will select? Right now, defensive lineman, so defensive tackle or an edge rusher, 43.8%, still well in the lead. Wide receiver second, 32.3%. Cornerback third, 19.8%. Offensive lineman bringing up the rear at 4.1%. I'm surprised by this. I thought wide receiver would win in a landslide. Are you surprised?
Maybe a little bit, just because I think we're so fantasy footballized. But no, I think the pass rush and lack of it, even though the sack numbers didn't look bad and the turnovers didn't look bad, I think the glowing part or the glaring weakness on this team last year was against really good teams when you needed guys to make a play and get some pressure on good quarterbacks. We were not able to do that on a consistent basis. And I think most Packer fans think that this receiving core is young and still has some room to grow. And I think there's frustration that Rashawn Gary is who he is. Kenny Clark is who he is. Lucas Van Ness, we got to see more. There's more doubt that group can do it than that the receiving group. That's what that poll would tell me. Even though I think I would disagree with the results, I understand. I think that's where Packer fans are coming from.
I think that's a great diagnosis of the reasoning behind that. And again, I'm just fascinated, and I think of you talking about Eddie Lacy or talking about that cold, rainy December 2nd game against the Arizona Cardinals at Lambeau Field. Things change. The league comes at you fast. You were touting Jair Alexander once upon a time as a decoy. Now we're just waiting for him to be traded or most likely released. You were touting Rashawn Gary as an elite pass rusher. He still has yet to crack double digits in sacks. And last year, in a new system, having played with his hand down at Michigan, we got they're adjusting to a new system. Maybe they are. Maybe he's going to have a 15-sack, 100-pressure season this year. I'll believe it when I see it. But first-round picks, a lot of ballyhoo, a lot of expectation, moments where you get really excited about them, but the sustainability has not been there for most of their first-round picks. So whoever they end up taking, wide receiver, defensive lineman, corner, I mean, there was a lot of excitement for a brief time about Eric Stokes late in his rookie year.
Yeah, he had a good rookie season, and then he didn't.
And he obviously dealt with injuries. So we will see what happens tomorrow night. But again, Teteroa McMillan talking as if he's expecting to be a Packer. Now, I've seen a couple of these comments, and I was reading a story last night along these same lines, that there are some who have some questions about Tet McMillan, and says he doesn't like to watch film. There's a quote about that out there. I want to make sure I give credit to who posted this in the YouTube comments. I am curious if people, if he's maybe going to slide, and if they don't have to trade up for him, and he's sitting at 23, as Ron Wolf once said to Dan Morgan before he let Mike Sherman take over the 2001 draft, if you're there, you're a Green Bay Packer. Turned out to not be the case for Dan Morgan, but maybe Tet McMillan will be a Packer after all. We need to play some double trivia, our second and third rounds of trivia. It is Wednesday, which
you
means...
pay that tease off that I teased you out like you asked.
I don't know. I
You
left.
pay that
I told
tease
you I
off?
was leaving, so I don't know what the tease was.
Simple yes or no answer. That was what the tease was. So we can do that while you take caller what and what for trivia.
Caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10 for trivia, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776 to play trivia. What was the question? Tausch?
Are the
Pascal?
groceries on Matt LaFleur's counter good enough to win a championship as we sit here today? Yes or no from Jason Wilde?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought you'd say.
What do you say?
I didn't ask myself. That's not what I teased.
Well, I'm asking you now, though, as a follow-up. Yes or no?
You'll have to tease that up.
Yes or no?
You don't follow up.
Yes or no?
When's the last time you followed up?
God, I got to be honest. I cannot wait to see you in person tomorrow. It's going to be a joy.
I know.
Yes
well,
or no?
life's busy.
Yes or
and
no?
Quick Trip gets it, whether you're
Yes
craving
or no?
fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, or a quick grab-and-go meal. It'll be fun. I don't know if Jesse and I don't think we can carpool up because I'm not sure when Jesse's leaving, but we would be stopping at Quick Trip. We'd get the apps that we love, those mozzie sticks. Jesse, what's yours? You the mini tacos? I think you're probably on the phone. Doesn't matter. Ice cream right now. Nature's Touch ice cream. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip. No such thing as a bad thing. Gallon of Nature's Touch ice cream, just $4.99. You get Nature's Touch milk for $2.99. Breakfast sausage, $2.49. Bags of soup. It's still a little crummy out. $6.99 on Tuesdays for a big old bag of soup. Roasted whole chicken. It's Wednesday today. $9.99 tenders
Sure
or
is.
bone-in chicken. Quick Trip's got everything you're looking for. Head on over, download the Quick Rewards app, and take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Quick Rewards on every visit, plus you can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip, we'll see ya next time.
We'll play trivia next, and Tausch will answer, does he believe that the groceries on Matt LaFleur's counter are Super Bowl championship caliber, yes or no? That's all ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance, like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
During draft week, make the ultimate pick your child's future. Bet on their success with Advest 529, Wisconsin's direct soul college savings plan. Here's the play. Open an Advest 529 account now until April 27th with just $25, and Advest will match it with $25. That's right. Save $25, get $25. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your shot to score a brighter future. Open your account before April 27th to score your bonus. Go to advest.com/draft25 to lock in your $25 bonus today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All this time I wasted, you were right there all along.
Time for trivia. Then we'll get Tausch's yes or no answer about the groceries on Matt LaFleur's countertop.
I am shocked that you'd have to ask me that. You know my answer.
I want you on the record.
That's why I'm just... it's... Okay. All right.
Do you think you're too much of a Goody stan?
No.
I mean, do you really
because
believe? So you really believe that the roster, as presently constituted, is a Super Bowl caliber roster? They lost to the Super Bowl champions.
Contender.
No, that's not what you asked. You change everything. Final
You didn't
Four
even
team that
listen.
They play in Milwaukee.
You didn't listen to the tease.
You change everything.
I said contender.
You're like Murphy with Goody. Hey, you're going to be I'm offering you the GM job, but now you're going to report to me you don't have control over the football operation. Do you still want the job?
I would argue right now, and I said this last year, if you remember, whoever wins the Philly-Green Bay game is going to the Super Bowl. I didn't say they're going to beat Kansas City. And you know what happened? Whoever won that game went to the Super Bowl, and whoever won that game won the championship. And who played Philly? St. Louis. The Rams played Philly.
The Rams. The correct answer is the Rams.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Green Bay limited them offensively a lot more than the Rams did. They did.
Rams had to play in the snow. It was a tough.
You
tough
guys
day.
realize we turned the football over 4 blanking times, and we still had a look at winning in the. And you realize we had an opportunity to take the lead in the fourth quarter a couple times. Like, let's just. I'm not saying we're all world.
Come on, man.
I'm not saying we're all world. I'm not. There's holes to fill. But y'all are acting like we're bottom feeders, and we ain't carp. We're a good walleye. Let's go make ourselves a good walleye sandwich, and let's move on with our lives.
Let's play trivia. Speaking of moving on with our lives, let's welcome in our contestants. First of all, caller number 5, Mike the Wedding DJ. Mike, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. Excited to go to the draft tomorrow in my Dolphins gear.
Nice. Which jersey are you wearing? Zach Thomas?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill?
Merino. That's the only jersey you wear. Merino.
It's Merino. Come on.
Larry
Dan
Zonka?
Marino, the GOAT.
No, it's Dan
the GOAT,
Blanken Marino. Yeah.
Jason Taylor, who Cliffy didn't want to block, so he got food poisoning.
Hey, Mike. Wow, that is a big statement you just made.
That's the allegation you've made.
I did not. I said he got sick. I said he had a Jason Taylor. Don't try to put that on me. Mike, do you think the Packers right now are a Super Bowl contender?
Contender?
Yeah.
You have to
Do they have a
phrase that
Super Bowl
correctly.
roster, was the question.
Contender.
No. The Packers will not make the Super Bowl next year because the Eagles are going to go back-to-back. So the Packers will not be in the Super Bowl. So to be a contender, you have to be in the Super Bowl to win it. The Packers won't even win the division next year. As much as I love the Packers, they're not going to win the division. The Lions are going to win the division. They got a better team.
All right. Lions will be favored. Lions will be favored to win the division again. I won't argue with you on that.
All right, Mike, you're caller 5. Caller 10, who is ineligible.
Dolphins haven't been a contender since '83. Then, if my math is correct,
has nothing to do with the Dolphins.
Caller 10, who is ineligible to win but is playing anyway, is a first-time contestant.
Let's go.
It is Brian in South Carolina. Brian, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. I'm glad you know the rules and you're playing anyway. Hi.
Yeah, it's all for fun. I probably wouldn't have won the drawing anyway, and it's probably not going to be for like 2 weeks because of the draft and stuff, so I might as well just play.
That's
snarky in South Carolina.
I kind of like the snark.
I'm just bringing it.
All right. Mike, you were the first caller. Do you want, well, I guess we don't have to do this because who the hell cares if Brian gets him right or wrong because he doesn't really matter. All right. So question number 1, Mike, for you is this. Brian Bulaga and Gabe Neitzel are riding a bus with fans from Milwaukee to the NFL draft in Green Bay tomorrow. If they take I-43 from Milwaukee to Green Bay, which of these cities would Bulaga and Neitzel pass first? Would it be Port Washington, Sheboygan, or Iowa City?
Well, they will pass Port Washington first because Iowa City not on the way, and Sheboygan is north of Port Washington, so it's Port Washington.
You are correct. 1 for 1. All right, Brian, question number 1 for you. This may sound familiar. Brian Balaga and Gabe Neitzel are riding on a bus with fans from Milwaukee to the NFL draft in Green Bay tomorrow. If they take I-43 up from Milwaukee to Green Bay, which of these cities would Balaga and Neitzel pass last? Pass last. Is it Manitowoc, Grafton, or Gloucestersford?
I am from the west side of the state, so I'm not super familiar. I'm just going to say Manitowoc.
Good work. Well done. The west side of South Carolina or the west side of Wisconsin? Never mind. I understand.
Both,
all right.
actually.
Nice. Question 2, Mike. In which Wisconsin WEAC city did Green Bay Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst play college football? Was it Oshkosh, La Crosse, or Eau Claire?
Oh, God. I'm just going to guess La Crosse.
You guessed well. You guessed
Roger
well.
Herring.
Oh!
You are 2 for 2. Let's see if Brian can go 2 for 2 as well. This is also not sure this is a west side of the state question or not. In which Wisconsin tourist region did Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy recently purchase a golf course? Is it in Wisconsin Dells, Door County, or the Driftless region?
Well, the Driftless region is southwest Wisconsin, so I'm going to say the Driftless region. Eh?
Unfortunately, it's not close to Green Bay, Wisconsin, which is where Mark Murphy, soon-to-be retired Mark Murphy, works. Door County, much closer.
Well, I know.
And that
he's
is
going to
where...
be unemployed soon, so that's what I thought.
It's true. Well, he's welcome to head to the Driftless region for all I care. Question 3, Mike. Longitudinally. Which of these communities in the greater Green Bay area is located farthest west? A lot of west today. Farthest west. Denmark, Wrightstown, or Bellevue?
Oh, God. I haven't even heard of Bellevue. What are the other two?
Denmark and Wrightstown.
Let's just guess Denmark.
Something's rotten in Denmark, and it's your answer. You're right. It's not Bellevue either. It is indeed Wrightstown. You are wrong, town. All right, Brian, question 3 is this.
That was a good retort there. That was good.
Thanks. Latitudinally. Which of these communities in the greater Green Bay area is located farthest north? Farthest north. Jesse repurposing not one but 2 of his questions today in Double Trivia. Farthest north, Denmark, Wrightstown, or Bellevue?
Bellevue.
Nicely done. All right, so both of you, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That means you got, Mike, you've got 3 of the possible 4 entries into the drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Love you guys.
Bye. Love you guys.
Can he gift those 3 other entries to Mike?
I'm not in charge of contest rules, but Brian, you have 3 of the possible 4 entries.
I just went on the new app. And it's got a
gift your apps. gift your entries?
There's no rules that say you can't gift.
No one's gifting any entries to anyone else on trivia. Not allowed.
It's not what contests say.
That'd be very kind of Brian to do that.
But thoughtful guy.
Not allowed.
Yeah, thoughtful guy. Brian, you don't get any entries, but we had fun playing with you, buddy. Hope everything's well in South Carolina.
It was
Thanks.
an honor, and I appreciate you guys. It's wonderful. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
I love you guys.
Too.
Boom.
We do.
All right. That is it for. What's the matter?
A lot of loves. Nothing's the matter. Negative, Nancy. It's not. Everything's great. It's glowing.
By the way, breaking news: Homer shares that he is also on that bus with Gabe and Bulaga that's going to be heading from Milwaukee to Green Bay. So that is a real bus that is actually happening tomorrow. As
we look
featured
forward
in
to
Wilde and
that.
Tausch trivia.
Well, I tell you what,
right.
there's going to be some people that wish there was a train that went from Milwaukee to Green Bay.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think you know what it means.
Do they have Coors Light on this bus or train?
They better.
I would, man, if they don't, go to Quick Trip and grab some, because it'll help. Coors Light, brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package. So it is made to chill. And whether you're riding on a bus with Gabe and Brian and Homer, you make sure those mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only clean green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products, meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Hey friends, celebrate draft week with the first round flavor of El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. Break out the Bandito Thursday pre-draft tailgate at 880 Stadium Drive and then head to Black Saddle at 7 p.m. for the first round watch party. Friday, the criminally smooth picks keep rolling with drink specials at Cock and Bull and Prohibition Spirits Cigar Lounge for rounds 2 and 3. Stock up for all your draft days with the award-winning all-natural Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Break out the Bandito today at your local Hy-Vee and Woodman's locations. Learn more at elbanditoyankee.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
I don't want to wait for the draft, and I don't want to wait for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
Things got a little chirpy in that Bucks-Pacers game again last night. Two teams that do not get along.
Chippy or chirpy?
I've heard it both ways. They were chirping, and it was getting chippy.
I actually agree with Jesse.
I'm not sure what Tyrese Halliburton said, but he did talk about how the teams don't like each other very much.
He did this. Hey, he did this, Jess.
Well, I was watching. I saw that. Yeah, I saw them a couple of different times yesterday.
For those of you listening
you
on
don't
the
know
radio,
what got the chirpiness going. That's what got the chirpiness.
For those of you listening on the radio, not watching on YouTube or on Twitter, Tausch did the Dame Time watch tap, and that's apparently what Tyrese Halliburton did.
Here is what Oshkosh's finest, Tyrese Halliburton, said after the game.
It's just competition at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, we don't have to sit here and act like, it's any secret. We don't like them. They don't like us. And that's just what it is. And they live for this. We live for this. So, I could care less. I'm out here just trying to help my team win games. So there's got to be a little bit of back and forth. There's got to be a little back and forth. But I'm here to win.
We were just talking the other day how the Bucks don't really have a direct rival, but I think the Indiana Pacers are it if we're going to nominate somebody, and these last two playoff series are definitely trending at that direction. Wouldn't you agree, NBA insider Old T?
No, the Pacers want to be the Bucks. The Bucks don't want to be the Pacers. The Bucks rivalry is with the Boston Celtics. Period. Fin. Want to beat the Vikings, but the Packers want to win championships. The Vikings want to beat the Packers. They want to be the Packers. They want to have some of the history that Green Bay has. Indiana is there. So, yes, it is chippy. I think it's awesome for the competition. And I think Indiana wants this in a real bad way. And then Indiana's going to get beat in the next round, and everybody's going to forget about it. The Bucks it's been the Boston Celtics, I think, more so than anybody else throughout this run. And you could put the Miami Heat ahead of them, as far as I'm concerned, from the Bucks standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know about rivalries. I do know this, and I found this interesting. Brian Windhorst on the Hoop Collective podcast saying this about Giannis. I'll say this from talking to people in and around Milwaukee. Giannis has given no indication throughout this entire season that he is not 100% focused on maximizing what the Bucks have. This is people in the league looking at the lay of the land, not anything Giannis has said to anybody. He's referring to all this talk about Giannis's time with with the Bucks winding down. Which obviously there have been many people that have expressed concern with that. We asked our Bucks buddy Justin Garcia. He didn't feel that way, but certainly Uncle Homer telling us to go to as many Bucks games as we can before Giannis is playing for someone else. Interesting that Windy, who is pretty plugged in, tamping down those thoughts. That's my NBA Minute. Now back to Whoa Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly! They were debating whether Bucks-Pacers is a rivalry or not on First Take this morning. Mad Dog Russo in on that conversation. I didn't hear what they were actually
Jesse,
saying.
Jesse, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, is flying into Green Bay and he wants someone to pick him up. If you were up in Green Bay and you were Alex Schroff, would you volunteer to go pick up Ocho Cinco from the airport to create content and to just be a good dude?
Yes.
In a second.
Absolutely, I would, yeah.
Okay. Schroffy, I know you listen. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, flying into Green Bay. Go pick him up at the airport.
When does he land? Because, Stroph's on the air from noon to 2.
I just saw the tweet. I don't know when he's landing. I didn't ask.
Whoa, Nelly!
Big detail guy.
The Brewers are in San Francisco. Nice win last night. Yelly with a granny. Part of an 8-run 6th inning, 11-3, the Brewers win. As I was watching the game on TV last night, it did remind me, San Francisco is one of the last MLB ballparks that I really have on my bucket list that I want to go and experience a game at. I've been fortunate to go to a few of the big ones, but I don't really have the same inclination to go to Fenway Park. I haven't been there, and I don't have that desire. Yankee Stadium, I don't really feel that way. San Francisco is the one that I still really want to go to see a game and sit on the ocean side. I think that'd be really cool. Is there a MLB ballpark that fits that same description for either of you?
Jason?
I've been to Fenway. I've been to Wrigley. I like both of those. I've always wanted to go to Yankee Stadium. I've not done that. I would say that I've been outside of San Francisco's baseball stadium. I haven't been inside it. But if I had a life jacket on, I think it would be fun to be in McCovey Cove and catch a home run while you're sitting in your little fishing boat.
We could do a little tandem kayak. I'd go.
There is no way Jason Wilde wants to be out in the cove. There's no way he wants. I would be shocked. I'm not going to say there's no way.
If I'm wearing a life preserver, I feel much more confident.
I think you and I, two-person kayak, next year let's go to the game. Yep.
If somebody volunteered and said, "Wilde, I'll give you a life jacket. Go sit out there for 9 innings," there ain't no way you're doing that. What are we talking about here? Am I wrong?
6 innings?
I mean, 9 innings is a lot in a kayak with Jesse.
7th
I
inning
would like
stretch?
to go. Yeah.
Sorry, where do you want to go?
Whoa, Nelly.
Sorry.
No!
Where do you want to go?
Come on, Nelly. You were about
Amazing.
to say
How when he gets interrupted, the show's over.
I just said I'm not mad at you. No, I'm not done. It's Whoa, Nelly. That's the name of the show. Whoa, Nelly. Let's go.
All right. Well,
wonder where he wanted to go. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Are you sure you don't want to say anything? You're out.
Toronto?
I've been very blessed to be able to go to a lot of parks. So I've been to most of the ones that I really wanted to go to.
Most of the national parks.
I have not been to Pittsburgh Stadium. So maybe we go out and do a Pittsburgh Brewers deal. We got big fans out in Pittsburgh. And get out there with that whole crew and go watch a game. Bucks.
Take a beat. Have a meal with Jana.
When Skenes is pitching, we'll go out there and watch.
Well, if we do this, you'll be able to get the video and the audio and stream the show live in the all-new, all-free, all-awesome, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN, the brand-new ESPN Wisconsin app. It has a customizable homepage for easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip. The ESPN Wisconsin app is available in both the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Turn up the volume and turn up the flavor with Tequila Mi Campo. Tequila made for Wisconsin. Just like the excitement of draft day in Green Bay, Mi Campo delivers that same bold energy and anticipation with every sip. Mi Campo is crafted for utterly in-your-face flavor. Made with 100% Blue Weber agave. Aged in wine barrels for incredibly smooth taste. Ready for however you like to turn it up. Mi Campo. Live louder. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025 imported by Mi Campo Spirits, Canandaigua, New York. Tequila 40% alcohol by volume.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
During draft week, make the ultimate pick your child's future. Bet on their success with Advest 529, Wisconsin's direct soul college savings plan. Here's the play. Open an Advest 529 account now until April 27th with just $25, and Advest will match it with $25. That's right. Save $25, get $25. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your shot to score a brighter future. Open your account before April 27th to score your bonus. Go to advest.com/draft25 to lock in your $25 bonus today.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We've got Mr. Irrelevant coming up after us. Hunter Vaughn in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios alongside Jesse Nelson. Jesse, what are your responsibilities tomorrow exactly?
Mingling. No. Free food.
Schmoozing.
I will be there. I'm going to help set up our broadcasts early in the morning. Say hi to the unsportsmanlike crew that's going to be live from the Tundra Trio. Help us get on the air for 9 to noon tomorrow as we get ready for the draft. I'll be joining you guys on the air if you'll have me. There's going to be a bunch of special guests. It's going to feel like Radio Row tomorrow.
Like a three-man booth for our show?
Well, not entirely. Like, not any different than normal, I would say. I'm not going to, overstep my boundaries here.
Who are the special guests that we have coming up?
Great question. Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman will all be in the neighborhood right across the yard from us, so I'm sure we will be able to hear from them. There will be several other, I don't want to ruin any surprises, but special guests that'll be stopping in as the draft festivities get underway in Green Bay.
Moon?
Warren Moon, maybe. I doubt it, but he could be there. You never know.
Okay.
I would say there are some Wisconsin, over the next 2 days, Wisconsin Badgers names that we may be excited about.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers names that we may be excited about. ESPN national personalities.
Very interested.
You never know who's going to stop by as we get ready for nights 1 and 2 of the draft. Going to be fun.
But what you're telling me is that you don't really know if any of them are actually joining our show tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like organized chaos is what it is.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
I appreciate you clarifying that. All right, that's it for us today. We will do it again tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows